people are broke not because of what they don't know. They're broke because of what they refuse to quit. They know what's costing them. They know what's keeping them stuck. They have known it for years. But every single day, they wake up and they do the same things that keep them in the same place. And then they wonder why the numbers in their bank account look the same in December as they did in January. Here's the truth. Wealth is not built by adding more to your life. Wealth is built by quitting the things that are keeping you broke. Most people think getting rich is about doing more, working harder, hustling longer, adding another job, another side gig, another idea on top of all the other ideas. But the people who have actually built wealth will tell you a different story. They will tell you that the most important thing they ever did wasn't what they started. It was what they stopped. So today, I want to walk you through 10 things you must quit if you want to get rich. Not what to add, not what to chase, what to quit. And I want you to be honest with yourself about how many of these things you are still doing. Because the answer to that question is the answer to why your money looks the way it does. Now, before we get into them, I want you to understand something about how this actually works. Because most people think getting rich is a matter of opportunity. They think it's a matter of luck. They think the people who have money got dealt a different hand than the one they got. And every time they hear about somebody who built something, they go looking for the trick. They go looking for the angle. They go looking for the thing they don't know. And the whole time, the answer is staring them in the face. The answer is not in what they don't know. The answer is in what they refuse to stop. You see, every broke person you have ever met is carrying a set of habits, a set of beliefs, a set of small daily decisions that keep them broke. And I'm telling you, those habits are not hidden. They are not subtle. They're the same habits you can see in your own life if you are willing to look. The check that disappears the same way. It always does. The decision you keep putting off. The thing you say you're going to change next month, every month, for 10 years. Those aren't bad luck or the economy or your job. Those are choices. And until you quit them, no amount of working harder is going to fix the problem. Here's the truth. Your bank account is a scoreboard. It is telling you what you have been deciding. And if the scoreboard isn't where you want it to be, you don't need to play the game harder. You need to stop making the moves that keep losing you points. Number one, you must quit treating your paycheck like a finish line. Most people get paid, and then they spend the next 2 weeks acting like the money is theirs to use up. They pay the bills. They cover the essentials. And then everything left over, that's spending money. That's fun money. That's whatever the paycheck allowed money. And by the time the next paycheck comes, the account is back to zero. And they call that managing their money. But it isn't managing money, it is consuming money. And as long as your paycheck is just a finish line, as long as it is something that arrives and then disappears, you aren't building anything. You are surviving in a circle. The check comes, the check leaves, and every single time you end up exactly where you started. The people who get rich don't treat their paycheck like a finish line. They treat it like a starting line. The check comes in, and the first thing they do is move money into savings, into investments, into something that will still be there next month, and the month after, and the month after that. They pay themselves first, not last, first. Because the money you keep is the only money you ever actually had. The money you spent is gone. The money you saved is yours. So here's what you have to do. Decide on a percentage today, 10%, 20%, 5% if that's all you can do right now. But pick a number and move it the moment your check hits, before any bill, before any spending. Before you have a chance to look at the balance and start making decisions, just move it and then live on what's left. Because if you wait until the end of the month to save what's left over, I'm telling you, nothing will be left over. There is never anything left over. The only money you keep is the money you take off the table first. Next, you must quit spending money to feel better about your life. This is the silent killer of most people's wealth. They don't lose it on huge mistakes. They don't lose it on bad investments. They lose it $5 at a time, $20 at a time, $100 at a time. Every time they have a bad day, every time they're bored, every time they need a little hit of something to make the moment feel different. The coffee, the new shirt, the dinner out, the subscription nobody uses, the little reward at the end of a long week, and none of those things is going to ruin you on its own. But add them up over a year, and they're the reason your savings account looks the way it does. You see, spending has become how most people manage their feelings. They're sad, so they buy something. They're stressed, so they buy something. They're bored, so they buy something. There is no emotional state that doesn't have a purchase attached to it. And every single one of those purchases is a deposit into the emotion and a withdrawal from the future. The feeling those purchases give you wears off inside of an hour, but the money is gone for good. The people who get rich figured out a long time ago that their feelings aren't problems to be solved with a credit card. They figured out that a bad day is just a bad day. It doesn't require a purchase to fix it. They went for a walk. They called somebody. They did some work. They went to bed early. They did something free. And the next morning, they still had their money. And 10 years of doing that, 10 years of not paying to feel better adds up to a financial situation that the spending crowd will never have. Learn to sit with the feeling without buying anything. Because every single time you don't, the money you didn't spend is a brick in the wall you are trying to build. Next, you must quit waiting until you're ready to start. Because I'm telling you, you are never going to feel ready. The day you feel ready is a day that does not exist. And every single year you spend waiting for that day, you are losing time that you cannot get back. The market doesn't wait. The opportunity doesn't wait. The economy does not wait. The other people who are also dreaming about doing what you want to do, they don't wait either. The ones who win are the ones who started before they felt ready and figured it out as they went. You see, ready is a feeling, and feelings lie. Feelings tell you that you need one more book, one more course, one more piece of information, one more month to think about it. Feelings tell you the timing isn't right. Feelings tell you to wait until life is calmer, until the kids are older, until the day job is more stable. And every time you listen to those feelings, you trade another month of your life for the illusion that you'll be more prepared next month. You will not be. You will be exactly as unprepared as you are today, with one less month of runway. Here's the truth. The people who get rich started before they were ready. They started with the wrong product. They started without the perfect plan. They started not knowing half of what they would need to learn. And then they learned it by doing. You cannot learn the things you need to learn until you are in motion. The information you need is on the other side of the action you have not taken yet. So you must start before you feel ready, before you have the plan, before you have permission. Because if you wait, the 10 years it would take to build a thing become 20 years. In 20 years from now, you will still be telling yourself you'll start when you're ready. So start now. Imperfect, underprepared, unsure, but started. Next, you must quit selling your hours if you want to get rich. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job today. I'm not telling you to do anything reckless. But I am telling you that if the only way you make money is by trading hours for dollars, you have a hard ceiling on what you can ever earn. There are only 24 hours in a day. And if you are selling them one at a time, the math is the math. You can work harder, you can work longer, you can stack 2 jobs on top of each other, but you cannot create more hours. The hours are the hours. And the people who get rich figured out that you must, at some point, start building something that earns when you aren't working it. That can be many things. It can be a business that has people working in it besides you. It can be assets that pay you, stocks, real estate, royalties, ownership. It can be a product you build once and sell 1,000 times. It can be skills you stack so high that 1 hour of your time is worth what used to take you a week. The form doesn't matter. The principle matters. You must own something that earns. You cannot only be something that earns. You see, when you only rent your time, you only have an income. When you build something that earns, you have wealth. There is a difference. Income disappears the moment you stop working. Wealth keeps producing whether you show up or not. But here's what most people do. They spend the same 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week trading their time forever. They never carve out the few hours a week it would take to build the thing on the side that could one day replace the income. Carve out time, 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, to build something that isn't just another hour you're selling, because every hour you spend building is the hour you spend escaping the trap. And every hour you spend just earning, you are paying rent on the trap with your life. Next, you must quit playing it safe with the small money if you want to ever play big with the big money. Most people, when they have a little bit of extra cash, treat it like it's their last $100 on earth. They're afraid to invest it. They're afraid to risk it. They're afraid to put it anywhere it might disappear. So they leave it in a savings account earning almost nothing. And they call that being smart with their money. But that isn't being smart. That is being scared. And being scared with your money is one of the most expensive habits you can have. You see, money that doesn't grow is money that's shrinking. Inflation eats it every year. The cost of everything around you goes up every year. So the dollar you put in your savings account today buys less next year and less the year after that. You think you are protecting your money. You are actually watching it die slowly. The people who get rich figured this out a long time ago. They're not reckless with their money, but they're not paralyzed by it either. They put their money into things that produce more money, investments, businesses, assets, skills that pay better. They take measured risks every single year because they understand that the bigger risk is taking none at all. But here's what most people do. They wait until they have a big pile of money before they start learning how money works. They tell themselves they'll figure out investing once they have more to invest. They tell themselves they'll start a business once they have enough saved up. And then 10 years go by, and they still don't have enough. And they still haven't learned because they were waiting for permission. They were never going to give themselves. So you have to start now with the small money. Learn how to put it to work. Make small bets. Make small mistakes. Build the muscle of investing before you have a lot to invest. Because by the time the big money shows up, if it ever does, You will have either built that muscle or you won't have. And if you haven't, the big money will leave the same way the small money did. Next, you must quit broadcasting your plans to people who cannot help you build them. There's a strange thing that happens when you tell people what you are about to do. The moment you announce it, you get a little hit of feeling good. People nod. People say that's great. People give you a small pat on the back. And your brain treats that small social reward as if you already accomplished something. So you do less. You work less hard. You ease up. Because the announcement gave you part of the prize before you did the work. You see, most people in your life cannot help you build a wealthy life. That isn't a criticism of them. It is just the truth. If they could have built one, they would have already. So when you tell them what you are planning, you aren't getting useful feedback. You're getting their opinions, their fears, their doubts, their warnings, based on lives they have built that don't look like the one you're trying to build. And every single one of those opinions becomes a weight you carry while you are trying to do the work. They love you, they mean well, but their input isn't a tool you can use. The fix is simple. Pick one or two people who have actually done something similar to what you are trying to do and talk to them. The rest of the world doesn't need to know your plans until your plans are results. Quiet builds wealth, loud builds gossip. The people who get rich rarely announce that they're getting rich. They just keep doing the work. And then one day, everybody notices that something changed. But by then it's too late to talk them out of it. By then the thing is already built. And I'm telling you, every single conversation about what you are going to do is a conversation you could be spending on actually doing it. So spend the conversations on doing. Save the announcements for when there's something to announce. Next, you must quit confusing being busy with being valuable. Because the world is full of busy people who aren't building anything. They have full calendars. They have long lists of things to do. Meetings, overlapping meetings. They walk around looking exhausted. Because exhausted feels like proof that they're doing important work. But the truth is, most of what they're busy with doesn't move them forward at all. I once knew a young man who worked harder than anybody in his industry. He was up at 5 in the morning. He was answering messages at 11 at night. He was running from meeting to meeting all day. He was the kind of person you looked at and thought, there is somebody who is going to make it. And 5 years later, he was making about the same money he had been making the day I met him. So one day I sat down with him and I asked him to walk me through a normal week. And as he was telling me about it, the answer became obvious. He was busy doing things that didn't pay. He was answering letters that should have been answered by an assistant. He was sitting in meetings that he should not have been in. He was solving problems that other people were paid to solve. He was so proud of how hard he was working that he had never stopped to ask whether the work he was doing was actually the work that would make him rich. I told him, you aren't going to earn more by doing more of what you are doing. You are going to earn more by doing less of it. You have to cut everything that isn't the one or two things that actually produce results. Within a year of him cutting his busy work down to the things that paid, his income tripled. He worked fewer hours. He made more money because he had finally separated activity from value. Ask yourself, every single day, what is the actual work that produces income in my life? What are the 2 or 3 things that if I did only those things would build the wealth I'm trying to build? Because here's the truth. Most of what fills your day is not that. Most of what fills your day is the busy work you do to feel productive while avoiding the real work. And the real work is usually harder. It is usually scarier. It is usually slower to give you that feeling of accomplishment, but it is the only work that actually pays. Next, you must quit comparing your income to people whose books you have never seen. This is one of the biggest traps of the modern world. You look at somebody driving a nice car, living in a nice house, showing off how well they're doing, and you assume they're rich. You assume they have something figured out that you don't. You assume their life is the proof of their success, and you make yourself feel worse for not being there yet. But here's the truth. You don't know what you're looking at. The car is leased. The house is mortgaged. The pictures are the curated highlights of a life that behind the camera has the same problems your life has. You are comparing your full inside to somebody else's edited outside. And it is one of the most expensive habits you can have, because every single time you do it, you make yourself feel poor for no reason. You see, real wealth is mostly invisible. Real wealth looks like a paid-off house. It looks like an investment account that nobody sees. It looks like assets that produce income that the owner doesn't have to spend on display. The flashy people are usually not the rich people. The rich people are usually the quiet ones who decided a long time ago that what they own is more important than what they show. Stop comparing yourself to a story you cannot verify. The only scoreboard that matters is your own. Did your net worth go up this year compared to last year? Did your investments grow? Did your debt go down? Did your skills get sharper? Those are your numbers. Those are the only numbers that mean anything. Everybody else's numbers, the ones you are guessing at, the ones you are envying, aren't real. They are noise. And every minute you spend on that noise is a minute you could be spending on the work that would actually move your own scoreboard. So play your own game, run your own race, and let everybody else's display be their problem. Next, you must quit blaming the past for where you are right now. Because as long as you are pointing at the past, the parents you had, the school you went to, the decisions you made in your 20s, the breaks you didn't catch, the people who let you down, you are giving up your power to do anything about the present. You see, the past did happen. I'm not telling you to pretend it didn't. I'm not telling you that what hurt you wasn't real. But here's the truth. None of that has anything to do with what you are going to do tomorrow. The past is closed. The past is finished. The past cannot be changed. And every single day you spend rehashing it is a day you aren't building anything new. Wealth is built in the present by the actions of the present. Not by undoing the past, not by complaining about it, not by waiting for an apology that is never coming. And every person who has ever built something significant got to a moment where they decided, all right, that happened, and now I'm going to do something else. Most people never make that decision. They're still arguing with their childhood at 40 years old. They're still resentful of a boss who fired them at 30. They're still circling around a relationship that ended a decade ago. And while they're circling, time is moving. Money is moving. Opportunity is moving. Other people are building things, and the person stuck in the past is being left behind. Let it go. Not because what happened was okay, because you have a finite amount of life left and you cannot afford to spend any more of it litigating what is already over. Drop the case. Walk into today. Build something new. Next. You must quit thinking small about what you are allowed to earn. Most people have a number in their head. It is the number they think is reasonable for somebody like them. It is the number their parents earned. It is the number their friends earn. It is the number that feels normal. And every single decision they make about their work, their career, their goals is shaped by that number. They will not pursue the opportunity that pays 5 times that number because in their head, that number isn't for them. They will not start the business that could earn 10 times that number because in their head, that number belongs to other people. They have built a ceiling out of their own beliefs, and then they spend their whole life living under it. Here's the truth. The amount of money you can earn has very little to do with what is reasonable. It has to do with what you decide is possible. And the people who get rich made one decision somewhere along the way that most people never make. They decided that the ceiling other people accepted was not their ceiling. They decided that what was normal for everyone else did not have to be normal for them. And then they spent the next 10 or 20 years proving themselves right. You see, the world will pay you whatever you have the courage and the skill to demand from it. But the world will not pay you more than you secretly believe you are worth. So if your secret belief is that you are a $50,000 a year person, you will find ways to stay a $50,000 a year person. You will turn down opportunities. You will not negotiate. You will not raise your prices. You will stay where you fit. Change what you believe before you can change what you earn. You must decide that the number in your head isn't the ceiling. It is the starting line. And then you have to spend every single day proving to yourself that you belong somewhere bigger. Because you do. But until you decide you do, the world is going to pay you exactly what you decided it should. So here's what I want you to carry with you. You did not get to be broke by accident, and you will not get to be rich by accident either. Wealth is built by decision. By the daily decision to stop the 10 things we just talked about and to keep stopping them every single day until they're no longer part of who you are. The person who quits treating their paycheck like a finish line. The person who quits spending to feel better. The person who quits waiting to be ready. The person who quits selling all their hours. The person who quits playing safe with the small money. The person who quits broadcasting plans. The person who quits confusing, busy with valuable. The person who quits comparing themselves to people they don't know. The person who quits blaming the past. The person who quits thinking small. That person becomes wealthy. Not because they did anything magical, because they stopped doing everything that was keeping them broke. So today, pick one. Don't try to quit all 10 at once. Pick the one that hit you hardest, the one you knew was about you while I was saying it. Quit that one this week, then add the next one, then the next one. And every single week you become a slightly different person, a person who has stopped one more thing that was costing them. And inside of a year, you will not recognize the financial life you used to be living. Inside of 5 years, you will not recognize the person you used to be. Not because you got lucky, because you decided to quit. Every single day, until quitting the wrong things was just who you are. And then the wealth will come. Because it always comes for the people who decide to stop standing in their own way.